Good night. Just turning 12 o'clock on the 7th of May 2025. I have to get that right because if I say 2024 it destroys the video. So I've that bit done. I can relax. Now, we're going to look here. We're talking about windmills. This has nothing to do with any other subject. We keep each subject separate, please. Whether you like it or not, that's the rule. Now, so here we're going to look at a piece from the Coomacheo or Meko, wherever it is, wind farm in Cork that I already dealt with. Okay, I'll sit down again so you can see me for the minute. Maybe I'll get it done here. I'll get up then. Right, according to the set of accounts, they produced 108 gigawatts of electricity in 2024. A gigawatt is 1,000 watts. Now, I can count. I was at school till I was 16. So I know it might be difficult for some to understand this. A gigawatt's 1,000 watts. So 108,000 watts. Now, we'll do the maths. This wind farm of, what do we call it again? Coomacheo or whatever. The one I did there earlier. It's 81 megawatts. But I'm being extra generous because no wind farm is the full capacity. You'd need extreme high winds to get it at its full capacity. So I'm dropping down 3 to be a bit practical. Rah here is 12 and they admit it only produces 11. I'm not making a big deal of that. Just to let you know, if you look at the accounts, you'll see 81 here. It's 78 I'm going for. Right. There's 8,760 hours in a week. And you divide that, that's the actual total output if the wind blew all the time, if they got 100% of the nameplate capacity in generation. But they only got 108. Now, if you work out those figures, you'll find that there is something around, it's roughly 6 times, it's around 680 or something. No, doesn't matter. You divide this one into this one and you get 6.326. Now, you're with me on that. The power of the wind farm is 78 megawatts. You multiply by 8760. That gives you a figure. And you then write down the figure that the company says they actually got. And that's 6.326. Okay? Now, you then write down 100 because we want a percentage. A percentage. 100. You see there, I just can't see so well at angle. 100. And you divide it by 6.36, 6.326, and you get 18.5%. Sorry. 15.8%. 15.8. I'm at an awkward angle here. 15.8%. Okay. Now, in their adequacy report of 2010 to 2016, Airgrid PLC, Airgrid, the Irish operator, promised that the wind percentage would be 32.4. They said that a wind farm such as this would get an output of 32.4% based on the wind speed. That was untrue, or a lie, or a porky pie, or misinformation, or glossing it up, or window dressing, whatever you like to call it, because the actual output of this wind farm is 15.8%. I've never found one above 20. And the general rule, and we agreed this with engineers, we've checked them, they're all about 18, 17 and 15. Generally that's about it, 16%. Okay? So I give the full proper strength capacity, this would be a lower figure. We'll go for 15.8%. And they thought they were getting 32.4. So how could you make money? Excuse me. How could you make money? Now, one of the problems here now is I'm using the phone. I can't use it for the internet. Green Court Renewable. Oh yeah, the question was asked there. Why would they invest? Sure, it couldn't be right that they do stupid things. Well, the share price of Green Court Renewables is 73 cents. 100 cent now is 73. And thereafter bailing out that Coomacheo to the tune of 20 million. And I don't know, did they bail them out before? I only went back 2 years. Right? Now, someone also said about SSE electricity bailing. Sorry. I'm mixing it up now. Greencoat does not own Coomacheo. It's SSE. But Greencoat owns a whole lot of other ones. SSE. And they have a big investment from the Ontario Teachers Fund. The Ontario teachers will be eaten out of dustbins because they've invested a lot in wind farms, particularly in Ireland, and they're hoping to get a lot of money back. Now, SSE sold its Walney wind farm, and this is his crowd here. But in any event, you can see that they bailed out Coomacheo for 20 million. But this is a very common occurrence. Now, the other question was asked there as well, why don't data centres generate their own? Well, I know people who were in data centres and they have banks and banks of big Caterpillar, yellow coloured diesel generators. They have them there. So why wouldn't they use them? Well, one reason could be that if you buy diesel oil for those, you pay the carbon tax on it. Whereas by right, you're not supposed to have diesel oil except for agricultural purposes, marked gas oil. So legally, they might have to use road fuel. That could be it. Whereas the state can burn the diesel with no tax at all. So it's probably still cheaper to buy it from the grid for the data centres. Are you with me now? So the government there a while ago was asking the data centres to generate their own. They don't know what they're at. So have I dealt with that now, middling well? Now, I know I could be confusing you between SSE and Greencoat. They're all big investors in this chunk. So then we were on there about the bond. Somebody said about why couldn't you buy a bond? Couldn't you issue a bond and live the life of Riley? You don't have to pay back at them for 10 years. Well, you'd have to pay the interest every year. And they wouldn't give it to you if you're a straw man. Now, with a bond, if you issue an ordinary bond, it's done through a bank or whatever. Having the actual bond is not that important. It's recognised, a bit like a bank loan. You lose the book, it doesn't matter much. But with a euro bond, if you don't have the actual bond, you get nothing. It's a bit like the blockchain for the Bitcoin. You have to actually know the numbers. There's no way around it. So another question, well, that's it. So the thing is, they wouldn't give you the money. Another question was raised there by another person. How do you know they won't walk off and leave all there to the farmers? Well, they have a very obvious, is it aversion is the right word? They have a very obvious policy of never buying land. Never buying land. And I think the reason is, under the Planning and Development Act in Ireland, I don't know about other countries, it's the landowner that has to remove them. And some said they don't take out the bases on the roads, but the law is they have to return it the way it was. It's the landowner. So by not buying land, they leave that for the farmer, and that's where they're going to get caught badly. And they call these contracts they have with the farmers and landowners assets. They call them assets, valuable assets. And they're really, why they have the right to generate on the land, I suppose, and they don't have to buy the land. Maybe that's the point. So now, I've dealt with that. Now, the next thing is, I took a look at Greencoat, which is the Irish company that buys all these ones, and to see what sort of investment are they in. I hope I'm not confusing you now. We're talking there about the SSE electricity, and they're looking for a bond, and they're selling stuff too. They are divesting a bit, but the question was put: how come these companies like Statecraft are digging in deep? Which was the warping the whole thing at end. We'll just look at Greencoat Renewable. Now, this is Greencoat. Now, Irish Strategic Investment Fund, that's the government. They give them 76 million. This is about 2017. This is my old dossier. So to give them 76 million. Newton Investments 16.7 million. Irish Life 15 million. AIB, that's Allied Irish Bank, 15 million. Investec 13.2 million. Close Asset Management 9.8 million. M&G Investments 9.8 million. Farrington is 9.8, and the total investments is 164.5 million. Right. So that money has gone off to pay the fact that they can't pay the capital cost. So how are they going to get back? I checked out 34 wind farms that time, way back, and 38 and 2 in England, and I found the same everywhere. And some of the wind farms that Greencoat own are hopelessly insolvent. Some would not pay back the principal sum in 100 years. Tullynamile and Monty Cat and different funny names like that. And I might go through them with you again. It'd be very long to do that. And there's no need. So what appears to be happening is, you see the way a bond works. You issue your bond, and there's coupons down the side, and you have to pay the interest every year, and that's shown in the company accounts as paid out as an expense, and it's tax allowable, you see. So it's like your mortgage on your house. You can claim tax on the interest, but you can't claim on the mortgage itself when you pay it back, because you're buying the property. So when you are paying back these bits here over the time, you don't have to pay the principal. You pay the interest. But when you come to the last coupon, you have to pay the interest and the principal. And there's no money coming in from the companies to pay this. And the parent company like SSE and Greencoat are paying it. Every one that's in all of their audits that I can find, it's all in the audited statement that the reason we are prepared to give this company the thumbs up as being a going concern is that the parent company has guaranteed their loans, and it will not come looking for the money it owes them. And they check the parent company, and it has X, Y, and a Z finance. Now, I can look at Greencoat something at a time, but Greencoat has an awful lot of old junk derivatives and everything. You wouldn't know what they're at. And they're always selling. Remember, the business model is always, you get some crowd to build the wind farm. Some crowd, like Austin or Gale Electric or some, build the wind farm. Build it. The minute it's built, flog it on. With all the hassle done. So the investment fund or Greencoat Renewables doesn't have to worry about getting planning. By the time they come in, all's running. All's up and running. So they sell it to somebody else, and then they may run it, but they don't own it. So somebody else buys it. So in this instance, and just to go over to you again, who did they get to buy it? Who invested in Greencoat? That share price is now 73 cents today on the euro. Irish Strategic Investment Fund, the Irish government, you can kiss goodbye to your 76 million, folks. It's your money gone. Newton, 16.7 million. Irish Life, 15 million. See, they're getting the coupon, but they're not getting the principal. AIB, 15 million. Investec, 13.2 million. Close Asset Management, 9.8 million. M&G Investments, 9.8 million. And Farrington, 9.8 million, making 164.5 million. So how are they going to get their money back when they are actually bailing out the company and giving them money like 20 million on that one company I checked? And in most of them, they just forgive the debt. They write off the debt. So essentially, these people have bought the wind farm, or invested in Greencoat, let's say, or SSE. SSE then buys the wind farm, but leaves it in a holding company to run. So they're after paying for it. Same as if I bought a farm up in County Kildare. I pay off my coupon every year, and I don't have to pay the principal until 10 years. Right? But instead of insisting that farm make a profit and pays me back, I forgive the debt. I forgive the capital sum, so that the capital sum is never received. So all these people are getting is the interest. This is one of the greatest developments. I mean, I must be a genius, to spot it. No, nobody in the whole world shake hands with me. Father used to shake hands with himself. He was funny kid, remember? See the way they're caught. They're getting nothing. And they'll ram up the cost to the Irish consumer. And then you see Ofsted, it quit in America, I think, after Trump got in. Ofsted is still trying to build a floating one off the coast of Scotland. It can't pay for itself. If, even without it paying for itself, a floating wind farm off the Irish coast supplying the Irish grid would be an enormous extra cost on the bill. I made that sure. Probably 1,000 on every bill in a year, just for one big wind farm out on the coast. And that would never have the capital sum paid back. So could there be an agreement between governments and these companies never to let them fail? And we'll be trying to find out, some of them must be coming near to closing time, how they're going to handle the closing. So we'll be having a look at that. And I have helpers that keep looking for me and all like that. Have I helped a bit? There's 16 minutes. A long enough video this time of night. So what are we asserting? This is the actual factor, load factor. That's the actual output of that wind farm. Coomacheo, Coomacheo in Cork. That's the actual. This is what was promised. 32.4 by Airgrid. And they got 15.8. Not even half. And then they wonder why they're making no profit. And the 15.8 does generally let them pay the basic bills and the interest on the loan. It generally lets them out. But you see, if that were a farm, when you get to the end of the period, you could sell the farm. Or a house. It's easy to sell land, and it's easy enough to sell most houses. Now, there's some buildings like garages and that mightn't sell that well, I can't be sure. But to have some value. These things have a cost of decommissioning. You have to pay to decommission them. The land was never belonged to the wind company before they started, didn't buy it, they only leased it, and it won't belong to them after. So the land, they can't sell the land. So they're left with the cost of taking them down, and if they have nothing left over there, and if they have no money, they're going to, as somebody rightly said there, walk off and leave the farmer with it. And the farm will be running to the politicians, Sinn Féin and Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and people before puberty, and ask them, can you bail us out? So I have explained it fairly good, haven't I? I'll come back to it again, folks. I might actually take a wise look at Greencoat Renewables shares and its accounts. The last time I looked at them, they were a mess. But they were derivatives, and you couldn't quantify. They had it done that you couldn't quantify anything. But I'll have another look maybe and let you know. Is that all right? Have I done a good job? What a scam, folks. The biggest scam. Nothing ever was loaded on people. This is the biggest scam. And in all fairness now, you can say what you like about Donald Trump. He's seen through it. He saw through it big time. They're not building any of them. He's banned them in America effectively. Anyone with a business acumen would know they're a cod. They're a cod. And then they want us all to buy generators and feed it back into the grid. They want us to buy some industries to set up big diesel generators and agree to put it back into the grid. So instead of the customer receiving power from the government and the company, you're expected to put it the other way. Huh? You couldn't make it up. We'll see you back. Good luck. I hope you enjoyed that video. It wasn't just too much giving out. Bye. Thanks.